Hello, education heroes from around the world. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share this presentation today. And thanks much to all the organizers of this important 24 hours long event on cultural heritage and education. Today I will be presenting the educational dimension of the Silk Roads project. You can see the full name of it on your screen. It is a project implemented by UNESCO Almaty Regional Office and funded by the European Union. It was launched in 2018 and ends this year, so it's a pretty good time to speak about the achievements as a result of the project, and this event is a great opportunity to do so. My presentation includes three main parts. In the first, just to give you the background information, I will speak about different activities that took place under the auspices of UNESCO for the Silk Road studies, safeguarding and promotion. Also, I will give you some background information about the Silk Road project. And in the end, I will present, I guess, the most interesting part for you, which is a series of educational materials that were developed as part of this project. So just to start, it's important to say that UNESCO is studying Silk Road for a quite long period of time. In 1988, the first study of the Silk Road has been launched. You can use the QR code to access it. The idea behind that was that the Silk Roads could represent an interesting historical example of the cultural exchange and peaceful coexistence of different communities. And this historical example can be used for modern communities and for promotion of peace and other UNESCO values around the world. So, as part of this project, several expeditions, exhibitions, academic exchanges, and fellowship took place, and the huge potential of the history of the Silk Roads has been confirmed. One of the important outcomes of this work was the nomination of the Silk Roads heritage sites to the World Heritage List. As for now, two serial transnational nominations have been inscribed in the World Heritage List. First took place in 2014, 10 years ago. This Chanan-Tinshan corridor includes component sites from China, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan. Later, I will show you them on the map to put you in a geographical context. Last year, the second corridor, composed of components from Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, was also successfully included in the list. So, speaking about our Central Asian region, right now, all of the countries have some number of Silk Roads heritage sites in the World Heritage List. And it's very important because Central Asia and China were identified by the steering committee of the Silk Roads nomination, World Heritage nomination, as the entry point, as the region that should be inscribed in the World Heritage List at first place. And it has been successfully done. Although this work continues, for the Central Asian, we can say that there are at least two other corridors for which the state parties are preparing the nomination files. These are Fergana-Sirdarya corridor and Volga-Caspian corridor. Fergana-Sirdarya corridor includes components from the very middle of the Central Asian region, from the Fergana Valley, located on the border of Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan, and along the Sirdarya River, the main part of which covers the territory of modern Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. The second corridor is the Volga-Caspian corridor, and right now it includes the discussion between the Russian Federation, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, and Iran. So far, I guess I cannot speak about the concrete component sites because this work has not been yet finalized by the state party and is up to them to make the final decision on which components shall be nominated for the World Heritage List and which shall be not. Here you can see the map of the first Chanan Shrine corridor inscribed in the World Heritage List in 2014. As for Central Asia, there are 8 components in Kazakhstan, Kayalyk located on the territory of Zhetsu region, Talgar and Karamergen located on the territory of the Almaty region, and 5 components which are Aktobe, Kulan, Ornek, Akartas, and Kostobe located on the territory of Jambul region. On the territory of Kyrgyz Republic, there are 3 components here in the Chu River Valley. These are the sites of Agbishim, Burana, and Krasnaya Rechka. Krasnaya Rechka from the Russian could be translated as the Red River. As for the Zarafshan-Karakum corridor, these are the components in the mountain and Piedmont mountain areas in Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. These are the components located along the Zarafshan River Valley on the territory of modern Uzbekistan. And these are the components located also in Uzbekistan, but mainly in Turkmenistan. And they're located in the middle of the Karakum Desert. It is important to say that this corridor was based on 3 main urban centers, which are Bukhara, Samarkand, and Merv. These are huge ancient cities well known for ages and for millennia. However, those 3 sites were inscribed in the World Heritage List earlier as individual nominations, but it doesn't change the fact that historically they belong to Zarafshan-Karakum corridor. So what are the current activities of UNESCO on the issue of the Silk Roads? There are 2 main things that I want to talk here about. First is the Silk Roads program, which is managed by our headquarters located in Paris. It is a quite big program which annually holds the International Photo Contest for the young photographers and which explores the vision of the Silk Roads today. They also use research grants. Under the auspices of this program, there is also an international network of the Silk Roads experts or focal points that collect information on the Silk Roads activities at the national level. And there are also several thematic collections on those exchanges that took place along the Silk Road. Please, if you're interested, you may use this QR code to access the page of this program. And the second one is the Silk Roads project of UNESCO Almaty office, which I'm representing here today. Briefly to mention what we are doing. First of all, we're working with tangible and intangible heritage. We are conducting the restoration works, the valorization works at heritage sites. We're also working with the elements inscribed in the UNESCO representative list of intangible cultural heritage. We're working on the safeguarding and promotion of some of these elements. We're also trying to promote heritage as an important element for the sustainable development, which includes the promotion of sustainable tourism, which includes promotion of ethno-design, of artisans working with the Silk Road's heritage. We're also conducting a quite big number of capacity building trainings for the restoration specialists, for the designers, for specialists on intangible cultural heritage as well. And finally, we are making different awareness-raising materials, which aim to promote and facilitate partnership and improve communication. Some of them you will see later today. So I started my presentation with Silk Road's World Heritage sites, and we started our work as well from them. We made several educational videos on those components that were inscribed in the World Heritage List as part of the Silk Road nomination in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. And we are currently preparing identical or slightly different videos about the Silk Road's components in other 3 countries of the region. I will give you just some short extracts from those videos, and you can find the full version of them on our project page.
In the pre-Mongol period, the settlement of Karamergen was the northmost and largest in Zhetisu. It is located in the Balkhash district of the Almaty region, 200 kilometers from the Bakanas village. Karamergen originated in the 9th century, but the city flourished in the 12th, 13th centuries, when one of the branches of the Great Silk Road reached this place. Researchers managed to find out that Talgar arose in the 8th century and quickly became a center of crafts and trade. Talgar, with an area of 30 hectares, consisted of a fortified center and Rabat, a commercial and industrial suburb. Until our time, only the central part of the settlement survives to this day, a citadel measuring 9 hectares, surrounded by fortress walls with the remains of towers along the perimeter. The city was divided into quarters by straight streets. Each block consisted of 12 to 14 major houses connected by small streets. The estates had a characteristic feature, the presence of a residential part, a house, and a yard, the size of which depended on the wealth of the owner.
For Kazakhstan components, we used a lot of animation to show the value of these Silk Road's components. The reason is because most of them remained only in the archaeological state. So as you can see right now on the photo, it means that for the ordinary visitor, they may not be very attractive or may not provide a lot of interesting and valuable information. So we used a lot of animation to show the value of these sites to the wider audience. As for Kyrgyzstan, we used another approach because 3 component sites are located on a quite short distance between each other and between the main city of the country and the capital, Bishkek. So we filmed some kind of travel blog.
Most of the school children in Kyrgyzstan have visited this tower at least once and heard this sad legend about a girl and a spider. The moral of the story was that you cannot escape from your fate, so we'll start this episode with a beautiful legend. My name is Kanike and I am traveling to the cities of the Silk Road.
Another type of content that we produced is the content for tourist guides, because very often they are actually the ambassadors of their countries. When we are visiting foreign countries, very often we don't have time and we don't have opportunity to visit the researchers and scientists who working on different cultural and natural heritage sites. So we are facing tourist guides, and the information that they are sharing with us is very important. So that's why we prepared the manual for the Silk Road's tourist guide that you can see on your right, and you can access by the QR code. It is available in English and Russian languages. And we also prepared promotional videos with 4 tourist guides who actually been to our capacity building trainings on how to be the Silk Road's tourist guides, and who agreed to share their experience of working with tourists in their home countries, in their hometowns. So I will show you the video from Kyrgyzstan, from the city of Osh, and local tourist guide Lara Hasanova.
Guides are ambassadors of their country. By conveying the history and culture of their homeland to tourists, they make hundreds of people from different countries and continents fall in love with their own country. In this way, intercultural understanding is enhanced and peace in the world is strengthened. Thus, important tangible and intangible values of humanity are preserved and popularized. Today we are heading to Kyrgyzstan, where we'll be accompanied by Lada Hasanova. In 2021, Lada completed a course for Silk Road tourist guides organized by the World Federation of Tourist Guide Associations and UNESCO with financial support from the European Union. We have visited 2 so-called churches, and in front of you, dear guests, is another church. This cave is called Kızıl Ankor, the Red Cave, or we also call it the Swallow Nest. Why Kızıl Ankor? Because the cave inside covered in red clay, and experts assume that in this cave priests took red clay to make an engobe with which their ritual dishes covered.
Another type of content that we're working as part of this project are the visual arts. So we prepared several comics that are generally describing the idea of the Silk Roads. So it includes 2 pages. The 3rd page is here. We also prepared the comics for each World Heritage component of the Silk Roads in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. And we're currently preparing the same kind of visual arts materials for other 3 countries, for Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, and those sites that were inscribed in the World Heritage list last year. All of these comics are available at our project page, and those that are coming will be uploaded there as well, I guess in the coming months. As I said previously, we're also working with the artisans, those people who are working with traditional crafts. Those crafts are also directly related to the Silk Roads, because the Silk Roads helped them to travel from one region to another and to absorb different local traditions and the cultural heritage of local communities.
Suzani is one of the most important elements of Tajikistan's historical heritage. It's a hand-embroidered canvas 2 by 3 meters in size, traditionally embroidered by mothers and grandmothers for a girl's dowry. It's believed that a Suzani is protection for a young family. When we look at traditional Suzani, they're so bright, so colorful. People use the colors that they might be missing in their lives. I have a feeling that things like mountains, landscapes, trees, people are used to these colors already. That's why they use such bright colors as a way to achieve a kind of balance. People reveal their inner world through color.
Different regions have different embroidery techniques. In Nurata and Shakrisabz, for example, they embroider with needles, and in Tashkent they traditionally create suzani with a chain stitch using a crochet hook. This stitching is straight and elegant. A lot of foreigners can't believe that it wasn't made with a machine but was handmade. Once I even argued with a customer who refused to believe that it was handmade. I embroidered a flower for her and she was shocked. I was proud to become a real master of this traditional craft. I'll definitely teach my kids the art of embroidery. My dream is to keep the tradition in the family alive for at least 7 generations to come.
My last slides will be dedicated to the unfinished products of our projects that will come actually very soon. So first is the virtual exhibition, for which we cooperated with the national museums in 5 Central Asian countries and Iran. Each of them took 10 outstanding museum objects representing the cultural exchanges along the Silk Roads. We made good photos of them, we made the 3D versions, and we will be finalizing very soon the virtual exhibitions where you can see all of those museum objects. Here it is important to thank Google Arts and Culture, who are collaborating with UNESCO for quite a long period of time. This platform includes a large number of pocket galleries and presentation with the heritage sites from around the world inscribed in the UNESCO World Heritage List. And the visual exhibition that we are preparing is also going to be published at Google Arts and Culture platform. So this is how this virtual exhibition look like right now. We will have country halls, each of which will have 10 photos of the museum objects nominated by national museums and some brief description. When you will be clicking on each of the photos, you will have the access to the 3D model as well as the detailed description. And those museum objects that were included in the virtual exhibitions are quite unique. They include the remains of different religions, different cultures, different periods of time from first and second millennia BC to the actually 20th century. I will show you 3 items that are included in this virtual exhibition so you could have the idea on its overall content. So this is the Aquarius, some kind of water pot that were found in the ancient settlement of Kahala. And as you can see, the quality of the 3D image allows to show and to demonstrate small details of this object, which is relatively small, by the way. So the second item that I wanted to show you is this bronze mirror came from Kyrgyzstan. So this part is a mirror part and was polished to the state where you can actually see the reflection of yourself in it. And on the other side, we can see the decorations with some Buddhist motifs, which is very interesting for the demonstration of the religious diversity that existed in this region. The third item is this head of the statue that was found on the territory of Persepolis in Iran. Persepolis was the first World Heritage Site inscribed by Iran. Apparently, some gemstones were in the eye sockets, and the quality of 3D image, of course, allows to see every single detail of this, once again, relatively small element, relatively small item. And as I said, as part of this virtual exhibition, we have 60 museum objects in total, 10 from each country, and all of them are quite unique and represents the outstanding heritage of the Silk Roads. And the final product that I wanted to present here is the World Heritage Journey platform. Actually, it is a big partnership between UNESCO and National Geographic. This World Heritage Journeys platform exists for some time and includes information on several European properties as well as on several Buddhist properties. So right now, as part of our project, we're adding a new component, the Silk Road sites, which are actually the World Heritage properties, both natural and cultural, that were inscribed in the World Heritage list from our Central Asian countries. This is how the landing page looks like. You can use the QR code to access it. We are finalizing it. I guess we'll need just to add a couple of very last World Heritage properties that were inscribed in the list last year. So as I said, the platform includes information on 6 countries, Central Asia plus Iran. For each site, of course, there is a map with the geographical location, the description, but also some practical information on how to get, how to visit, how to access the heritage site, as well as some travel experience and travel itineraries that were added to today's platform as well. So for all materials that I present today, we believe that they have a huge educational potential, that not pretending to provide some unique information that nobody never knew before. These are not the research materials, but they're more of promotional materials that reunites the information from different sources and to make them and making them quite accessible on a small number of web pages and platforms. So thank you very much for your attention. We will be finalizing our project until October this year. So many new materials will appear on our website and our social media very soon. I invite you all to subscribe and to follow us. And of course, me and my team will be happy to answer your questions if you will have any. So please do not hesitate to write us and to use social media to ask your questions or to provide your suggestions. Thank you very much.